them. You are welcome, ma. You may be seated. Make sure her mic is working. Doc, glad to see you again. You know, this kind of service sometimes, you know, you have to hold the thing to be able to get it back under control. I'm telling you. Glory be to the name of Jesus. Now, a little background. We're going to do a little discussion on national transformation. I thought we'll be able to have a lot of time on that. National transformation, of which job creation is just one of the areas. You know, our assignment here is raising leaders to transform society. But I'm going to be asking the questions. Are you sure your mic is working? And then I like what Doc is doing. Doc, let me do like you. And let me help Charlie, you know, do the same thing. Put a little in my hand. Yes, you know. You see what we do? If they give you a mic that has been used, for, you know, recent, and then all the spitting and shouting and screaming, you know, that anointing will stay on that mic. You know, that spitting anointing. Rub some sanitizer on it before. At least you can remove the cap and see if the, you know. So, glory be to the name of Jesus. There's a lot we don't have. Because we have some gentlemen that are going to be making some presentation to us, we're going to have a short discussion here, and we'll go to that session. Now, I'm going to start with you. You are a consultant. This is your territory. What is transformation? Because it's clear to me now that if we don't know what it is, we won't know how to achieve it. Last week in Abuja, we were discussing personal transformation. Now we are talking about societal transformation. Last time I heard you talk, you broke the word into two. Go ahead and do it again and tell us how to go about it.
Hello, is it working? Yes, it's working.
Meanwhile, why don't you all join me and tell her welcome back to Africa? She's a daughter of Africa from Cameroon. She has not been here for how many years? 22 years. She has not visited the continent of Africa, but we are glad to have you back, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Kalu, for taking me along with you. I'm so happy to be here, and I enjoyed the service. You really blessed me this morning. Thank you. Thank you. So transformation for me, I believe that the word transformation comes into word. Trans and form. So the transformation is going beyond the form, right? When you want to transform something, it's because something is wrong with the current form. When you're talking about transformation, transforming the nation, we have to see what is wrong with the nation now, the current form of the nation, what is not working with the nation. Why do we need to transform it, to metamorphose the nation and give him a new form? So that is what transformation is all about. So first of all, you do the analysis of the current form, and then you project yourself to the new form that you want to see. And then you do the work to transform from the current form to the new form.
Did you guys hear that? This is very profound.
Yeah.
When you want to do transformation, because you are taking the thing from its current form to a new form, whether it's your personal life or a nation. We're talking about national transformation.
Yes.
So the first thing is to do an analysis of the current form. What is wrong with it?
Yes.
And then you do a projection of the new form, what you want to see.
Yes.
So that is going to lead to two big questions. What is wrong with the current form of Nigeria?
Yeah.
And what is the picture of the Nigeria that we want? What's the new Nigeria going to look like?
Yes.
If we know what the future looks like and know what the present looks like, then leadership is what it takes to move things from where we are to where we want to be.
Yes.
It will also require strategies and a number of other things. We'll see how far we can go. So let's do problem analysis.
Wow.
Pastor Shola, I need like 3 guys that will help us. Because she did that to us in Abuja. It opened up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Can I get like 3 guys with mics? Yeah, spread out. 1 person on this end, 1 person in the middle here, 1 person there. What are the things that are going on in Nigeria now that we need to change?
Okay.
Because in transformation, if you want to do personal transformation, you have to do personal analysis and know the present form of your life, the present state. Things that are there now that you don't like, that needs to be changed. I know that these things are already known, but let's just give voice to it. Just from any area. Who wants to start? There's a lady here in the middle. She wants to. At least tell us one thing that needs to be changed in this country.
Unemployment.
Unemployment.
Good one.
And that one is going to be our big focus today. Unemployment is too much. Unemployment. Yes, another person.
Praise the Lord. We have a constitution, a document that our leaders have told us that we all assented to, but we didn't assent to that. That is the major problem of our country. We have to sit down and decide what we want as a country and how we want it to be run. That policy document is what will guide us to what we want.
Are you a lawyer, sir? You speak like a very brilliant lawyer. Are you a lawyer?
No, sir.
You're not a lawyer? Wow.
Not yet.
You have been hanging around some of them. It's obvious. But there's something he's raising, that the document, the policy document, the constitution of the country begins with we the people. And there was no time we the people came together to do anything. And not even the representatives of the people. The reason is that the one we the people agreed, the founding fathers, was dropped. It was just jettisoned. And the military, during the military dictatorship, they created this one and gave it to us. So he was making reference to the need for constitutional reform. And there is a point there. Okay, let's get other elements. What's wrong with Nigeria? Yes.
We have, thank you, sir. We have poor infrastructural development in Nigeria.
Did you hear that? Poor infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on now is how you solve any problem. The first thing you must do is this problem analysis, problem identification. It doesn't matter if you want to narrow the issue down now to a family or narrow it down. A problem you don't understand, you cannot solve. I'm going to be coming back to Charlie in a few minutes because she taught us that we have to break these problems into 2. Some of them are human problems, while some of them are institutional or structural problems that we need to know how to separate the 2. But for now, just talk. I think it's all right. Yes? Any hand? I see somebody there. Yes?
Delay in our justice system, which have kept so many people innocently waiting for too long in the prison.
Yes, sometimes you spend 20 years before your case is brought forth to court. That's a very big issue. Very big. Yes? So let's go down. Okay. Okay. Yes, go ahead, ma. No, give her a mic that works. And 2 of you need to separate. Somebody should go down.
We have poor healthcare facilities.
Poor health care system. Yes, can somebody, okay, guys, be typing and projecting all of the things that are listing, be projecting them on the projector. And I remember that's one of the things you told me the first time you arrived. You need to, you have partnership from abroad to build standard hospitals in the 4 or 6 regions of Nigeria. And no government has tapped into that. Okay. Yes, very fast. Yes.
We have insecurity problem.
Oh, that one is so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, you see now, these are some of the challenges that are facing our country. Let's see if we can get a little more. Yes? Problem analysis.
Poor dysfunctional educational system.
Oh, that one is so serious. Each one you mention is so serious that you don't know which one to put first. Another person that side, yeah?
Poor electoral system.
Oh, you know what is going on with our electoral system? So the problem is not just the bad politicians. There is also a problem of the system that makes it easy to rig election. So we have two types of problems. There is a people problem, but there is a system problem. So go ahead. One more before I come back to this side.
Lack of power supply.
Oh, I don't even know which one to make number one now. Each one is so heavy. And you guys are all on point. Nobody has mentioned anything that is not important. Power supply. Let's get one more before I move to that side.
Our home-based artisans and craftsmen need to be empowered.
Okay, they need to empower our young people with vocational skills. Even our artisans and others, they need to be trained. Okay, let's go down. I want to see if we can get 3 inputs here.
Okay, there's tribalism and religious nepotism.
Hey. I don't know whether that one should be number one. Hey. The guys be typing, be listening. You can see the problem of Nigeria is complex. So.
Bless you, everyone. Poor orientation of the youth.
The voice is so nice. Where is it coming from? Okay, from that end. Poor orientation. Okay, for the young people. Are you talking about value orientation, mindset? Which one, or is it?
Poor orientation in the sense of not aligned with the spiritual issues on the social side to commit kind of crime and all that. Then you have leadership issue as well.
Okay, let's pick one of the definition. The issue of crime and moral decay, value, erosion among the young people. Okay, let's see if there is any more hand there before I come to the center.
Corruption, sir. Corruption and bribery.
Hey, that one is very heavy. I need to hear the guy. Your voice is so sharp. Where is the guy that said that? You need to go into
I'm here, sir.
You need to go into politics. Oh, it's in the middle here.
Yes.
Okay. Sir. Yeah, you need to go to the house and help us. Your voice reverberates. Yes, sir.
Yes. The problems mentioned here actually have a foundational root, which is education. So if you can fix education, every other thing prots better from there. So education
Did you hear
is the
that?
problem.
Education. He has pointed out that education is the foundational problem. If we can fix education. I wish some more people would look at the foundation, because we have the structure, but we also have foundational problem. Education has been brought out as one of them. Which other foundational problems do we have here? Who can tell us? Yes? Somebody has mentioned...
Constant mismanagement of fund. Constant mismanagement of fund in politics.
Okay. Corruption and stealing of our funds, by our politicians. And it's constant, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, we have the problem, lack of respect for fundamental rights and breach of the Constitution, which is where we have most of these issues that are coming from, because people are constantly denied of their rights to justice and fair hearing. That is why we can have this whole police brutality thing coming up, because nobody has regard for the Constitution of the country.
Do you hear that? That's very heavy. This one is very, very heavy. My God. Remember that you are listing problems now. You have to come up with solution. You have to come up with solution. How are we going to solve these problems? Okay, let me take 3 more problems listed.
Poor health service structure.
Okay, I'm not able to track where the voices are coming from, but it's all right. Poor health care. Poor healthcare system. Somebody has mentioned that before.
Another background one is family values and orientation.
Yeah. Tell me one way it's affecting us as a people, as a nation.
Okay, most times we notice that children that are from poor background, or probably children that were abused, or probably children that their family did not imbibe the right values into, they grow up and extend the wrong values into the society.
They become criminals, prostitutes, all kinds of things. They even start from the schools, corrupt more kids. It's true. There is a failure of the family system. This is not how it used to be. You see young girls walking around naked, and they came from home. Something has gone wrong. Yeah. Go ahead. 3 more at least, yes?
Family neglection, like father not taking care of their children and leaving their mother to suffer all alone.
Yes, it's part of what the girl said, but it's a very important point. Yeah, the breakdown of marriages and the family values. Okay, let's come to this side.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thanks, sir. There's a chronic poverty problem in Africa. And it's the cause of, it's more foundational than education and government. Yes, sir. Poverty. For real, sir. For real. Poverty.
It's very real.
And in Africa, it's a created poverty. It's imposed on the people.
It's systemic poverty.
Yes, systemic.
Created.
Yes.
So it can be stopped.
It can.
Can be changed.
Very well, sir. Very well.
Please get ready when we start talking about solution. You need to tell us something.
All right.
Eh? How we can solve it. Please note that man. This poverty, because he said the poverty is created by man, it's not God. So we can solve it. Okay. Yeah, there's a lady
Thank
standing.
you, sir. Bad roads.
Hey,
We have a lot of bad roads.
the roads are bad, though. Infrastructure. It's good that you brought out road. That one is very bad.
All right, sir.
Please, sir, I want to say, please,
who is overthrowing the other person? I need to. Okay, Olga, you need to join politics. So the way you overthrew the other man.
I'm sorry. I mean, then the electorates are also the problem of this country because the electorates are not electing the leaders by conscience.
Okay, the electorate are not electing the right leaders. Let's put it that there is also a problem with the electorate. Maybe we'll find out what is it that they need to be enlightened, educated, given more, whatever. Or is it that they go and vote and they still vote? Or is it that there is voters' apathy? But something is wrong there. Sir, yes.
All right, sir. One of the problems I observed in Nigeria is disorderliness.
From the citizens or from the...
From the citizen.
It looks like you have traveled. Have you traveled, sir? Been out?
No, sir.
I'm amazed that you can live here and observe it. Because usually when you travel and see orderly society where things work, and you now come, see how we drive in the traffic, how some vehicles will be going this way, some that way, you know that something needs to be. But how come you're able to observe that?
I just saw it in a system like this. It has troubled Nigeria very well. Everywhere in Nigeria. There's this high level of disorderliness.
Wow.
That's the major problem of Nigeria.
Wow. God bless you. God bless you.
Amen.
Take note of that. Write it. I think we can stop here. There is a madam here, please. Let the woman talk. Yes.
The problem of bribery, corruption, and the godfatherism going on in the country.
Yeah. Okay, let's speak godfatherism in politics. Bribery and corruption has been captured before, but thank you, man. Very important point. There is a man there standing like a politician. I can't ignore you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. This one I want to talk about, I guess nobody has mentioned it, and it's very, very important, is the breakdown in the church system. The church. Like what Dominion City is doing, what God is doing through you. If many churches comes, through this way, a lot of things will change in our society.
Wow. Do you know that if you are talking about foundational problem, you should put this one there? You should put education there. What they even said about our constitution should also be there. There are some things that are foundational in nature. I think we're going to now stop so that we can move ahead. But there is one man wearing yellow there. Is that the major? It's not.
Okay, thank you, sir. The problem of agriculture
we're not maximizing our agricultural potentials in Nigeria. So
Okay. Yeah, our agriculture is undermined. A lot of the products are
Imported.
wasting. The number of fruits that gets ripe here every year, somebody said that over 65% of them will get rotten and waste. We don't have, there are so many problems there, so many problems. So thank you, sir, for bringing that up. And you imagine, if you were in the meeting yesterday, if you see the number of billions we are spending, there's one particular crop that was mentioned. It said we spend 1 billion every day. Is it every day? Every day to import that one. Every day. 1 billion a day. And yesterday we gave attention to agriculture because we were talking about how to stop all of that. We brought guys from Central Bank who were talking to us about the funds available and how to, Okay, I'm going to have a few people up here in a few minutes, but let's, Dr. Charlie. So when you finish analyzing problem, and first of all, before we even go off to solution, you said there is a difference between human problem and
societal problem.
Societal problem.
Yes.
Differentiate. Let's see.
So there are some problems that we can change as people. And there are some problems that is a society, is the way the society is structured. So you have to start with the one that you can do something about it. Something that you have a power to change. And then gradually, the power that the community have can influence the power of the nation. So you have to start with the one that you as a person can start doing something about it and change.
Do you see now what happens here? And Doc, I'm about to throw the same question to you. What happens here is that we usually list all these problems and now feel hopeless and helpless.
Yeah.
And we think all of the problems will be solved by government.
Yeah.
And we think we as the people, citizens, we are helpless. We can't do anything. The young people are teaching us that we can do something now.
Yes, exactly.
And then we say, okay, everything is government that will solve it. It's not.
Yeah.
For example, sir, job creation. Who has the larger responsibility to create job? Is it the government or the public sector or the individuals and the rest of the other sectors? What do you think, sir? Please come and help us, Get us a mic that works. Yeah, give him another mic. Move fast because airtime is burning. We're on air.
Hello.
Okay.
The aspect of job creation starts with individuals because it's an inspirational process, and you've already said it several times. Everything comes from you believing, just like the message you shared today. Nothing can stop anybody that knows who they are. Nothing.
Nothing
So,
can stop anybody that knows who they are.
So when you know who you are, it's not a question of whether government is there and all that. We saw even in the Bible several times, Abraham, it happened to him. Isaac, it happened to him. When there was famine, they were able to produce in the midst of famine. You have what it takes to change any situation, anytime, any day. You have the power, the authority to do it. And so once you have that belief and understanding, things begin to happen. And so even with what she's saying on the aspect of the two sides, when we talk about society, you talk about that you are the society. I see people, on the road and I'm like, if somebody can drink something and throw it on the street, and you are having an imagination that it would disappear or what, like you complain that the road is dirty, and you are still the one by yourself throwing the same things on the street. Who is the society itself? You are the one.
So we have a dirty society, but it's the individuals that created it. And meanwhile, maybe at this point we should honor our young people because there are some of them after each demonstration,
they will go and
they will stay behind and pick all the dead. Let's give them a big, But this is amazing. This is amazing. There are even some that will stand on the side and be, making sure that coordinating things, that nobody's harmed and all that. That is amazing.
It means that we really have, you see, it's a spiritual thing. It means that it's inbuilt in us. The change we're looking for is not outside. We have it inside. And if we can listen to that good side that says do it right and obey, everything will work by itself. We have what it takes.
You know, I was in an African country. Should I call the name? There is a country in Africa that is the cleanest country maybe on earth.
Yes.
Maybe on the whole earth. So the idea that black people cannot do it is not true.
It's not.
And among the visitors that came from other countries, one of them leaked something. I think it was, whether it's water, finished, and threw it away in the street because, the citizens, they didn't wait for government. They came and dragged and said, go and pick it. See the dustbin, that go and drop it. Now, one person wanted to pick it and drop. The other said, no, bring that man. And then one of them said he must be from Nigeria. I stood on the side and I was watching that. The thing has gotten into them, the culture of cleanliness. I'm talking about Rwanda. Yes. You can't do it. They will stop you. They will stop the bus. Even the bus driver will stop. You will have to go and pick it up. The country is so clean, you would think you are at the gate of heaven. Okay, back to our, so some of the problems are within our power from what you explained to solve. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take note of that. We can begin to organize ourselves in small, small groups to begin to do something about it. Then there are some that are systemic, where government policies, government registrations, or some other things, those ones, are caused by the type of systems we have created. And those ones might require being in position of power to change or using advocacy, like what the young people have done. Coming together again. That's part of what he's saying, that even those ones that are systemic, when the people come together again, they can put pressure on the powers that be to change. We can use our vote to remove people. Okay, let's look at solutions. Before we start narrowing it down. We have raised so many problems. What are the solutions? It is at this point that you separate the boys from the children. I mean, separate the boys from the men. Because the issue is not about who can complain about problems, but who can come up with ideas or solutions to them. So let's see what you're going to do. Who wants to start?
Start with unemployment.
Okay. There's a man here. Yeah.
Okay.
Which problem do you want to address? What's the solution?
Sir, I want to, initially we didn't talk about it.
Please, can you increase his volume?
Everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay, and there's a huge leadership deficit in our system in Nigeria. And then the area of training, I believe that there's need for reorientation of all Nigerians, majority of the Nigerians, because everything that has to do with the problem is a thing of the mind. So there is need to reorientate the mindsets of every Nigerian. So if that's, for instance, like we're talking about...
Okay, because we don't have time. We don't have time for long sermon. So national reorientation is what he has pointed out.
The national reorientation of the mindset.
Yes, the issue of mindset change.
Mindset shift.
And all that. So, and there is an agency called National Orientation Agency. So obviously, not much is happening there. And we are coming to something, and where we are coming to is individuals taking responsibility. What will happen, you that understand the need, if you can pay the price to study how to shift mindset and change values, and you go and join that ministry, you can be a private individual, still do your business and be part of that. Because they have machineries, they have the media, they have all kinds of machines, and help to begin this crusade. Maybe we're all waiting for somebody else to do it. We will soon see that there's nobody anywhere that will do it. Okay, let's see some of the solutions. On this side. Yeah.
I would suggest we go pointing from the problems. We now, first is unemployment. I think it will help us to go through that. Unemployment, constitution.
Oh, the list is before us.
Yes.
I see.
So let's take it one after the other and then.
Okay.
One problem at a time.
Yes.
You see, we have the list now. Unemployment, who can give us the solution? But we're going to give more attention to that particular one. Remember, any problem we list, that's the one you discuss now. Okay, the lady.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Adobe Chukwu Ojukwu. I want to speak on the issue about unemployment in Nigeria, and it's a very crucial issue.
Okay, go to the point.
Yeah. I want to give a reference to China. China raised their youth by making sure they got industries back from other countries, then got their youth trained in other countries and brought them home and established them in their country. Now, if you go to China, China is doing well, apart from the issue of coronavirus that happened. So
wow.
I think Nigeria...
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The point has been made, and a major point about how China did it. If there is somebody else that understands that process about China, India also did that, you can also speak into that. Okay, another person, how to solve the unemployment problem. Yes? I'm looking for hands. Yeah. You see how many hands went up when he was complaining? Problems. And few hands now that we need solution. Okay, yes?
Okay, to solve the unemployment problem in Nigeria, I feel that each person we can all do an each one reach one project. Meaning for individuals that have skills, or you pick one person in your community, at least one person per time, develop the person in that same skill, and then create a marketing platform for that person so that person can be able to market. Now, if each one of us in this room decides that, okay, with what we know, we're able to pick each individual per time, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then train that person in whatever we know how to do, and then create a ready market for that person, each person will be able to get employed.
Now, please clap very well. Oh. But my sister, what do you do? What's your profession? Please, the mic needs to work. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a lawyer.
So tell me what you're going to do about what you have just said.
Okay, so I'll give an example. I did a project in 2017. It was an each one reach one project, but this was a project for physically challenged people in Akwa Ibom State. Now, so I started by setting up, so I trained them in different skills because I was trying to do an experiment with them to show that each physically challenged person could learn a skill, right? So I was able to train close to 600 youths, and then people were able to sponsor the training of each person in paint production, liquid soap making, wig production, and different things. And then we're able to set up a skill center there in Akwa Ibom State, which is still running till date. So I have tried it. I know that if each person can develop one person, you understand, the unemployment rates can reduce.
My sis, please come. Come. Do you see how small she looks? She has done it for 600 people and did it for the toughest group, physically challenged people. The reason I invited you, I want to see your hand. Young men that are looking for wife. What are you looking for? You're looking for a shower or what? See a hard-working young woman that is going somewhere. Look at, she's a lawyer by profession. Look at what she is doing. You're waiting for God to come from heaven and show you the person. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Start one in Lagos.
Yeah, I'm currently working on one for orphans.
Wow.
Because, I thought about how, orphans were able to feed during this period of the lockdown.
Yes.
And I thought about, so I created a model for orphanages. So we're currently working on one, which we're going to do next month.
When I come next, I want to hear reports on what is going on there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
The lady has gone ahead of us because we're still going to come to taking responsibility. Somebody's already doing it, not just analyzing problem. So, but let's come back to solution. Yes, yes. So that's where we are going. That's where we're trying to get all of you, where that lady is. Yes.
Praise God.
Yes.
There's something I understand after our school, our graduation. I understand that your level of certificate, the boldness doesn't mean certification of job. As a graduate, you have to learn a skill, something to do while waiting for work. Like, I get into business. Now I have like 2 of it, 2 places, 2 different places. So with up to 30 employees. So as a graduate, you don't wait for government or a white-collar job or somebody to invite you in a bank and admit you as a worker. You shouldn't wait for that.
So you were looking for a job you didn't find. You started a business.
Yes, sir.
And now you have 2 outfits.
Yes, sir.
And people working for you.
Yes, sir.
Is that not better than looking for a job?
It's better,
You are
sir.
your own boss. You are making money using other people's labor. But you have solved their problem by creating employment for them. That's what everybody needs to do. You are waiting for a job, create one now. Okay. Doc, we're going to
Thank
talk
you,
about
sir.
how to create a job in a few minutes. But let me get some more solutions. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that opportunity. I would advise e-commerce because the world is going very digital, and there's something China did, Jack Ma precisely. He created a very indigenous platform called Taobao in China. And what he did is that, just like she said, once these people are empowered with these ideas, you give them a platform where bring up your product, we're going to market it out to the people that need it, and they're going to purchase it from this e-commerce platform. And what is going to happen, because what problem we have in Nigeria is trust of receiving your product before you pay. We just want our product delivered before we pay. But when you have a trustworthy platform, like Golden Heart can set up something, and if you have a trustworthy platform, one can easily give in their money, trusting that with Golden Heart, I'm going to get my product. Thank you.
What do you do?
What do you do, please? Yeah. You have collected the mic.
I work with Aramex Nigeria, Customer Service Executive.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sir, in the issue of unemployment, sir, I started doing something already, which was a message you preached last year. And, in that message, I grabbed that what I grabbed out of when you were preaching about.
Please, can you switch the mic?
So in that topic, you actually thought about social services. So when I got home, I did a calculation and did a thorough study on the social services I'm going to give back, not just to my state, but to my country. So we decided, I and my wife, we decided to set up a foundation. And in that foundation, we marked out a certain percentage of our wealth that will go into social services. And that social services is job creation. And we did a think tank and came out with some petty businesses, some mini businesses that one can do with little capital, as little as 50,000 and 100,000. So we now started doing those empowerment.
I even learned that there's some people can do with 20, 25,000.
Yes, sir, even 20,000. We have started in Lagos, sir. We have started in Lagos. The first we did was in our state in Enugu. And the second we are doing, which is what brought me to Lagos before this program, started about 2 weeks ago. We get a group of young people. We even have them in our WhatsApp group. And we are doing this funding from our personal fund. We have a percentage of our wealth as a family that goes into job creation.
Wow. Everybody needs to clap. Oh. Okay, you have moved from your state to Lagos. How many people are you working on in Lagos?
Sir, in Lagos, we have about 27 of them. right now, and some of them are even here in this program.
Okay, tell me one thing that they're able to do, or one thing you've trained them in. For example, you're talking about businesses that require small capital, because some others need to know. Some people are thinking about 1 million, 2 million. And you are saying people can be started out with 25,000, 50,000.
Yes, sir, even
Tell
20,000.
me an example of a business.
Okay, sir, one of those businesses is laundry services. We found out that the cost of laundry in Lagos is something else. Not just in Lagos, even in Abuja where I'm based. And we even found out that laundry services is something you can do at the comfort of your house. Everybody here can wash clothes. Every youth can wash clothes, can iron clothes. And what does it take to wash clothes and iron clothes? Then what's the capital for setting up such a service? We even train them on how to get a market base. You can imagine where you are living in a street that has more than 500 occupants in that street, and you are the only laundry man there. And you walk from the comfort of your house, you do their laundries, and still collect good money. So the second one is food vendor. There are so many food vendors in Lagos. I came to Lagos and found out that it's popular. But in Abuja, Enugu, where we started this program, we found out that we have less food vendors, and practically every young lady can cook. So why can't you cook at the comfort of your house and then supply food to offices, to corporate institutions, to government institutions, and they pay you?
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And thank you for what you are doing, because thank you, sir, for that. Thank you, sir. Anyway, okay. Yeah, we're looking for solutions. Job creation. How do we solve this problem? Yes,
thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, somebody is speaking. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for this service and this program. Now, in the area of sports, there are some sports we've not ventured into. For instance, cricket.
Cricket?
Yeah, cricket.
There's money there?
Yes, there's money there. There are some ladies are actually good in cricket, because there is one scenario in Benin where this lady called Joy, she was trained. Actually, the mother said she should travel and go to somewhere and do, the Edo issue now. So we took this girl, we trained her how to play cricket. And now she's playing for the Edo State, and also she has almost gone all around Africa playing cricket, and she's earning in dollars.
Now, sir, you need to start it in Lagos, please. If you have experience of training people in some of these sports, mention like 3 other sports that can help people, because not everybody will play football. Yeah.
No, you can also do martial arts. That's in the taekwondo. Ladies are also good there.
And there's money there.
Yes, there's money, sir.
Okay. No, another one.
You can also do, for instance, the volleyball.
Volleyball?
Yeah.
Is there money in volleyball?
Yes.
Okay. Now, he's talking to us about sports, and sports is vast. It's not just football. Okay, let's pick another person. Yes, sir.
There are 3 basic foundational issues we have that is tied to unemployment. One of them is education. Somebody has actually mentioned it. Another one is no vocational empowerment. What we do in Nigeria is our vocational systems are politicalized. They do that, and there are programs government have brought out that are very powerful programs like You Win and a lot of others. They give it to political cronies, and the money is wasted. Now, solutions are, one, like what Dominion Steel is doing. After this program, if people pay attention to this program, I can assure you that very many people will come out of poverty and create a job. 1. 2, Dominion Steel headquarters, Lagos here, there was a time they organized enterprise development, where young men who doesn't even have work are encouraged to come out and learn skills. Now, people who have gone ahead in that line of business were called out to empower and train them and mentor them. By that, you have lifted out a lot of people into getting job, 1, and then
employing others to also gain employment. So I'm also saying in our educational system, there's need for entrepreneurial skills to be trained in understanding that if I graduate even as an accountant, I should be able to stand out to create something for myself, not always waiting for white-collar job. Now, when that is done, you will see a graduate coming out and be proud to go into farming, be proud to create applications, proud to, no matter what you study. So there is need, no matter what we are studying in school. I'm also calling on churches like we are doing in Dominion City. If we, churches, can also stand and begin to encourage our people, not just prayer, not just to believe, not just to have faith, but like we also say, there's faith without work. Christians are having faith without work. That is why a lot of pastors are running in poverty.
They are having faith without work, and that's why the faith is not working. Because the faith...
So in summary, those three things, which is training, educational system, and no vocational, they are all tied to unemployment and is foundational. If we address it from churches, from schools, from government, I'm sure we eradicate poverty in Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow. Tackling from school, tackling from churches, of course from government and from individuals and so on and so forth. Okay, there is a man there.
Praise the Lord. One, the issue of dysfunctional educational system is what my brother has just spoken about. I found that from my own personal experience that when you graduate, what you were taught in the university cannot easily be identified and practicalized in the industry. So
because the education is theory.
Yes, you need to be trained. From the experience, I started with water engineering. I worked for 35 years in that industry, and I'm an established water engineer in Nigeria.
What did you study in school?
Mechanical.
And now you are doing water engineering.
Yes, I work with the old UTC water engineering system, and that's why I've been into sewage. I found out that 80% of us from graduate, when they come to the system, they don't have any knowledge, no understanding of what to do. So you need to train them. And what I want to advise is that each person who is a graduate should find a mentor in any of the industries you are thinking of. Now, somebody who graduated as a mechanical engineer, you don't know how to work, you don't know anything about HDP, polyethylene welding, which is the common thing that is now going on in the water industry. 2016, Lagos State awarded about 6.8 billion naira worth of contract by Water Corporation. And it went in. So some people do not even understand that. 80% of African countries are going in that area. Ghana has already gone that aspect. And this is the changing trend in the industry. Lagos State government has also evaluated that even in the sewage, if you're starting up any kind of a building that's up to 50 occupants, you cannot, dig your normal septic tank. You have to have a treatment plant there, which is also something that you have to know. I found out that 80% of the engineers or people who are in that industry don't even have understanding the legislative aspect of what government is going through, the visions of the government, for them to be able to tap on that aspect for them to go in. Now, when you come from the experience, I have to take over some people which I'm training on my own, in my own work sector of water industry. I just take them, come and join me in my own company. And some of them do not want to because they're expecting that maybe when they come here, I'm supposed to start paying them 100,000 naira, 80,000 naira. And I ask, what are you bringing to the table? You don't have the experience. I want me to start. First of all, learn. Go through the process. I will give you money to settle while you are going down. Secondly, I found out also that each youth do not have that mentee understanding. To be to attach yourself to a mentor. You can come to an organization and say, okay, I want to be part and parcel of you. Let me learn through the process. So from there, I can now have the experience to be able to go and gain employment. I'm into farming, I'm into transportation. In the past
Only
1 year.
you are saying to transportation?
Yes.
Okay, please come. You are the kind of human being I've been looking for. Come, sir. Where is my little sister, that lawyer is creating job? Come. Okay, everybody that has a profession and you have something to pass on to others, you have something that can help another young man create job if they are taught what you have, and you are willing to do something about it, please stand. The one sitting down, is it that what you have cannot help another person? How come he's helping you? If you take a group of people, please take a step forward. Please. We're going to do something now. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, all of you, you will listen to what I'm about to tell this man. That's what you're going to do. You see this whole thing, organize it, put it in PowerPoint, create courses, and develop it in models. Let's know if it's 3 days that it takes to train people, or if it's 3 weeks, or if it's 3 months, and what part of the training is the theoretical, and what part of it is the practical. Because you're talking about engineering, there's a practical side to it, where they have to come work. How long they need to do that apprenticeship before they are ready to. And you have to be in the evening session. We are going to be explaining to these men how to upscale their businesses. See, like what you're doing now. If your annual income is 10 million, it can become 100 million, just like this. And it's these same people you are training that you are going to use. Because if you are servicing one local government area or Lagos state government, let's assume you are the one collecting all the contract in Lagos. Train them now, deploy them to other states. And then, of course, you explode your own income and you have given them a future. So whatever you develop must be a win-win something. So that you can have, it will benefit you. So you can stay motivated to do it for more people. Hello? That guy that is training people in sports, don't just train 1 or 2 girls now. You can develop it. And you have a part, if it's 20% that you take back, for being the consultant that is doing that. So you can do it. I want to see a lot of people coming out in this sports and going abroad playing. Don't just say it's charity and you just do it. It has to be built on the principle of sustainability. Look at you now. You're talking about giving them money to start. How will that money come back so you can give to another person? These are the kind of things that need to be built into it. In her own case, she's dealing with less privileged or physically challenged people. So she has to think about sustainability. And how do you stay in this? She's getting partners to donate the money, companies to donate, to sponsor it. And it must be done in such a way that part of the money pays your staff. Because you can't be the only one doing that. If not, you will remain small. The way you were able to handle 400 or 600, let me see somebody you have trained now who is doing it in Alausa, another person that is doing it in Ebweda, another person that is doing it for here, somebody that is doing it here in church, somebody that starts sending some to Enugu, starts sending to other places. So you need to turn that into a system now. This is a consultant. She's going to be showing us things. There are things she showed us in Abuja that has exploded a lot of people. Sir, you are doing real estate. Come, sir. He has a very, later I'm going to introduce all these men. Because time is coming. I'm going to bring all of you, introduce you to all these, our big churches. It's not just National Youth. You were doing real estate. You told us yesterday that the plan was, did you call it 40? Something 40. Tell us about it. Pastor Shola, it looks like all your mics need them.
Thank you, sir. It's a unique real estate solution that allows every one of us, listen to me right now, to own a 4-bedroom luxury terrace duplex with a rooftop swimming pool with as low as 1.5 million naira.
And it's not 1.5 deposit. You know, the system we have now is deposit, then you pay over 10 years or 15 years. That is the last time you pay. 1.5, and the building is yours. Yes, yesterday people were asking him how. But he has sat down with us in Abuja and explained it. And we saw what it is because I know exactly what he's doing. He's using network marketing. So there are two ways to do it. Mortgage system, you are paying over a period of time, and usually you pay more because you are accumulating interest. But he's using network marketing to get you to put in 1.5 million, but you get in more customers, and the cumulative whatever they get from that gives you the house, and they have made profit. And then the other people under you, the same thing. So that principle works. But you told me now you are going for 1 million. Is that not what you said?
Yes, sir.
What was the plan before?
That is outright purchase?
No. You were talking about something 40 to 1 million jobs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Previously, I had what I call a Project 40. And Project 40 for me was, when I'm 40, I want to be financially free. And I designed this project about 10 years ago. And I have just one more year to be 40. So I was under what I call positive pressure until through our father, I discovered Project 1 million. So for me, Project 40 made no sense again. What makes sense to me right now is Project 1 million. And what is Project 1 million? Raising 1 million jobs, okay, in the shortest possible time. And of course, having the front line of at least 1,000 mentors that will spearhead this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, think about how much money he will have made. It's 39, one more year. And then he will have been satisfied. And now creating 1 million jobs and creating housing for people. Think about how big the man that solves that kind of problem will become. That's why they're acquiring land. The other place, 4 acres. In Enugu, they have acquired. In Abuja, they have acquired. Everywhere, even where do you have your land here?
Yeah, Beechwood Estate.
So everywhere, they have acquired. Because it's trying to touch more people. Even in Accra, soon now it will reach US, it will reach. It has become big. So you can upscale whatever it is. And next time, we might see 12 lawyers doing exactly what you're doing because you mentored them, and one is coming to do for me in Abuja. I have a lot of people that need job there, physically challenged. One is doing one for Enugu. One is doing here. Just Lagos alone, if you have 50 people you have trained, they can't cover Lagos. If you have 100, they can't cover Lagos. And then building that sustainability thing. Don't use everything you get to tackle the problem. There must be a part that services those people so that they can have a life. Those people you mentor need to marry, raise their own children, pay school fees. So the seed is what you must keep planting back. But there must be fruit for those who are laboring to eat. That's why we have moved from just mere charity to social entrepreneurship, social enterprise. You are making money while solving social problems. Majority of your profit are plugged back into those social causes for which you exist, but the people that are doing that are making money, and some of them are making more money than business people. Okay, all of you, lift up your hands. Just make a commitment. You're going to package this well. When I come to Lagos next, I want to take your presentation. So I'm going to do a presentation now just to give you an example because some of you were not there yesterday. I'm going to take a presentation in the area of construction industry. So you see what your own brothers are doing. Package your own self, organize it well. Because soon now, that same area, you will start getting jobs from government. 20 billion, 50 billion. That's something that looks simple. Some of you, it will get so big that you will drop your career and focus on it, like Bill Gates. You think it's a side thing now, but it's a ministry. Okay, make up your mind. Lift up your hand and ask God to help you. And those that are sitting down, all you need to do is to open up your mind and understand what we are doing. Because there is nobody that is meant to live here, stay here, and not be solving one problem or the other. Father, I'm asking that you would use these ones as an example in Lagos. I know there are many people that are already doing something. Use these ones as an extension. Unleash another army of solution providers, change agents, and bless their efforts once they start. In Jesus' mighty name. They gave you a form. You can fill it and return it, so Pastor Shola and others can have it. Whenever there is training, a lot of training is going to be coming out from January. We are working with them, all kinds of international agencies to provide you training. And you need to be part of this network, a movement that is going on, because there are many things going on there. Many things. We're creating opportunities. Oh, see Ogada. He's around. Uncle. Is that Balami? Is that Balami? Look at it. It looks like him. He's the one. Then you guys are going to hear something now. Let me welcome first Pastor Mbata and your friend. Please come. Use your PowerPoint. Use your PowerPoint. We'll give you 10 minutes to make a presentation. I think I'm going to give you. Guys, get ready. There's some things you're going to hear now. Check your mic and be sure it's working. And get a mic for, introduce your friend.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. First of all, this is Pastor Uche. He's one of the pastors in Abuja. But he's an engineer. You're a civil engineer by profession. No, I want to be, talk to the mic.
Building
engineer. And how long have you practiced? How long have you been in the profession?
25 years.
25 years he's been a professional building. He built a house for me with some other guys in Abuja. You have not been to my house. These guys built international standards. But let's leave that one. Introduce your friend.
My friend, his name is Builder Lawrence. We've been into training for about 6-7 years now.
Yes. Okay, you guys go near that pulpit. You see, we are redefining church now. Church is not only a place to come and pray and sing and talk. Church is a place to come and solve problems. Now, their own issue is that their own area is creating jobs through the construction industry. That is different from what our brother is doing in providing housing. These people are not providing housing for anybody. They are training the people you need to build houses. They are training tilers. They are training POP guys. They are training, engineers. They are training electricians. They are training all kinds of people. I want to know if your slide is ready or whether we should. Why they are getting ready. Doc, let's come back to what we are discussing. What kind of leadership is required to shift Africa? Okay, let's even use Nigeria. From, you see all the problems that were listed. Once you are ready, you tell us. We'll turn over to you. It would be nice if we are all seeing what you're projecting. Okay. What kind of leadership do we need to, all the problems that they listed, to now move our society from point A to point B? You've said that to transform, we need to understand the present form, the problems we want to change. We need to have a vision of where we are going. And then in between the two, we need to get human beings, leaders. Are you guys ready? Who can move us from point A to point B? What kind of leaders
Well, I mean, one of the things, I mean, we've been saying it and said it several times. Leadership starts with an individual. Everybody is a leader. It's not like some are selected as leaders. For you to be able to learn how to lead yourself, then you can lead other people. It starts within. And because we have allowed those who don't know how to lead themselves to lead, it's like the blind leading the blind. Until some who know that they can see and there is something wrong with the person. I mean, you cannot be in a car and the person who is driving is wounded and you know how to drive and you're still allowing the person to be driving you. That's suicide. So you need to be in a position to find a way, take that person out nicely so that both you and that person does not crash. That's why I say you have to be part of a system to change a system, and you have to use wisdom.
Did you guys hear that one? You have to be part of a system to change the system. Like this issue of politics, you are not participating, you are not voting. There is no way. There is no way you can change anything. But let's look at it, because in Abuja, you took it a little further. You broke that leadership, raising leaders to transform society. You broke it down.
Okay.
What do we need to do so we can understand the kind of human beings we need to mold?
Okay, it's all about personality as well. You have to build people's personality. When the gentleman was talking about mindset shift, we have to do a great job in the mindset, the way people think. As the people think, so they are. We have to work on the thinking. You mentioned something this morning about the thinking. The thinking is powerful. The way you think conditions your life. So what you are today is a sum total of what you used to think yesterday. So we have to start changing the thinking, changing the way people think, so that they can see the same direction. We have to sell the vision to the people. Because when people buy into the vision, it's easy to transform them. But when they don't see the vision, they don't see themselves in the vision, to be part of the vision, they cannot help to do in the process of transformation. So for me, the big job to do is to transform the way we think, to start changing the way we think about our own situation, about our community, about our country. So we have to see the same thing. So the vision has to be clear, and it has to be sold to the people. So we have to follow the same vision statement. So what are we all going to do to solve this problem? Where do we want to go? We have to be able to see that vision together and then set missions that we have to accomplish at each level to accomplish that big vision. And we have to have a system. I believe in the system. So everybody is doing something, which is great. How can we put that whole thing into a system? So we can create an ecosystem that will take care of itself and also help each other to get all together to that vision and to make that vision come to pass. So it's a system that we have to put in place. It starts with the change of the mind.
And in adding to that, when you talk about an ecosystem, it's just a part of what we're doing now, where you're bringing mentors and practical individuals and bringing those who are not doing it and bringing them together.
Yes.
Normally we talk about training and leadership on a separate platform where you train mentors and leaders separate, and then the people who need to now become leaders are trained separately. Now we're talking about bringing them together. It's an ecosystem. Two communities that have never met themselves together, you're bringing them together to work together. That's what is called an ecosystem. You're bringing two systems that never, met themselves, and you're bringing them. And it's a practical process, the best process that can ever work in life. Just like what Pastor, even yesterday, he was saying it. Based on what he's doing, he brought somebody like Pastor Shola was sharing an example. He said, you sat him down. Because of what he saw, he was touched and empowered that you brought him closer and said, I want you to do this. It's not that he wasn't thinking about it, but he was empowered by you bringing him closer to believe in him that he can do it. And that's what those who are already doing something, it's easier for, it's not by concept. If you're doing something and telling somebody, I want to work with you to do what I'm doing, it's easy for them to know now that they can work with you. Jesus said, by setting an example, to teach them how to fish in a way they've never seen before. He said, put it there, these are fishermen. But he had another system of fishing that they've never seen before. Another system of fishing. They were fishermen, but there was another system. Jesus introduced
and
a
once
different
they
system.
saw what the amount of fish
They didn't
caught,
waste time to join him.
he just told them,
They left
"Come and follow
everything
me
and follow him.
become fish."
So when you bring something that is practical and working, you don't need to talk too much. People will follow you. And you will develop them, multiply yourself into so many places.
So, two powerful things here. You know, we don't have the time. It looks like these guys are out. You know, the first one is vision. If you do analysis of the problem, everybody agrees we have problem. And then you show what the future will look like, what a preferred future. You create a picture that is better than what things are now. A picture of a preferred future. You cast that picture very well. You show possibilities and solutions. Then you tell people to come along, they will follow you. So, you know, all of you that came out that want to do something, remember you have to do this. Show them the problems, but show them what the situation can be. So that when you start anything, that's what you use to pull people. You are going to get you out of poverty, but okay. And then before we come to the ecosystem, but guys, I think it's the ball is in your court now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good
What
day,
is
sir.
it that you are trying to do? What exactly?
We are system, construction skill training and empowerment project. We are busy and obsessed with training people in the area of construction trades. You don't know anything about carpentry, about painting, about plumbing, electrical, masonry, you come. We train you from scratch. And over time, you are boom, working on your own, getting contracts and employing others. And it's not just males only. We have female painters, we have female electricians, we have female masons, we have all of them everywhere.
Do you give any form of certificate?
Yes. Yes, we do. We do. If you go through our training, the assessment training, we actually grade you. You know, when we school, we have a trade test, ID trade test, practical, 2 and 3. But over time, because of corruption, people now go and buy it. Like if you go to even Ghana here, every artisan you see is graded. You know who is your senior, you know who is your junior. It's supposed to be like that in Nigeria, but it's not here.
Okay, Oga, get the mic. I want you to talk because you did a powerful presentation in Abuja. Go ahead and do it.
Praise the Lord. If you are angry with Jesus, you're your own. If you are happy, put your hands together for Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. Very quickly, like my brother and senior colleague, I'm a builder by profession. Lawrence Gabriel is my name. We started construction, real estate, like my brother Abioye, and we discovered one thing, that beyond the shortfall of housing in Nigeria, we have a deficit in the number of people who are skilled. So you want to put up a number of houses to meet 17 million shortfall of houses, but you don't have the labor, skillful labor, to carry that out. And that's what gave birth to System, Construction Skills Training and Empowerment Project. We started off on a grant, and it was almost like an impossible thing to train somebody who is a greenhorn, doesn't know anything about construction, from scratch, and then in 1 year, they start earning and getting sustainable income. But when we started several models, we came across one of the models that work. One of the interesting things we discovered was youths don't come to us because they want training. One of the problems we pointed out was vocational training, unemployment. What youths actually want, jobs, jobs, jobs. So anything that doesn't point or end at getting jobs, they are not interested. So we came up with this model called the Earn and Learn model. So being a real estate development company, we train them from scratch. And after 3 months in the class, mixed with theory and practicals, we subject them on actual construction work, and we pay them during that period. So that covers their transport, their feeding. So they're happy to come back each day for training. And over time, we've engaged in several projects. Somebody was talking about government projects like the Empower. We at System trained over 3,000 youths across 6 states of the Federation. We've also engaged in the Shopee training where we trained over 1,000 youths. Under the GEMS program, we trained 737 youths, and so on. So this model is actually working. The major challenge is interest. Some of us want to appear on white collar, sit down in a bank, sit down with an AC. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That era is long gone. This is a generation where you have to work with your hands if you really want to make your ends meet. So this is what System does, and in the last few years, 5 years being in training, we've been able to train over 4,000 people at System. One of the things we are also doing is, you train somebody, but you have to link them to jobs, like I said. So our training is designed to link artisans to jobs, but how do we do that? I've mentioned the blended learning approach where we train them and place them on jobs and they earn while they are learning. The other thing we have done is to develop an app called Sidewalks. It was launched 1st of October. I don't know of Lagos, but in Abuja, if you're looking for an artisan, the best place you go is under a bridge. Or you go under a mango tree. I don't know what's with artisans and trees. They like sitting under mango trees. You go to awkward places to look for artisans, and you would not feel comfortable bringing someone from that kind of a location into your house in view of the security challenges. But we've created this app that works just like Uber. Like you can place an order for a ride. You can actually go on the app, and then artisans, competent artisans who we have trained and assessed, like Daddy was asking. Before now, the labor trade test was the talk of the day, city and guilds. But because it's now cash and carry, the federal government, through the National Board for Technical Education, have come up with this certification called National Skills Qualification Framework, NSQF. That is competency-based. So we place you on the job. If you are not competent, you cannot get that certification. And if you have that certification, level 1, 2, or 3, that also determines your earning power. So artisans, masons who charge 3,500, once that is in place, they would not be able to charge 3,500 if they are, for instance, in level 1. So it allows them grow up the ranks. And I'm happy my brother Abioye told us that he actually started as a laborer on one of the construction sites, and then today he's into real estate. So we want to, like Daddy said, want to paint a glorious future to them. It's not all about earning the skills and sitting under mango trees. The second thing we're doing is a Workmasters application where you can just dial a short code on your phone, *346 *64#, and you can request for any artisan to come and deliver services to you. These models are already working. The other thing we did last year, 2019, was to come up with the construction artisans.
I know that he's rushing, so he can keep. So you mean from your home now, you can order for a medicine, you can order for a plumber right there?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And they will be delivered?
They will deliver.
That's powerful.
Yes, sir. We launched it 1st of October, and we're already piloting it. That's for Sidewalks. But for Workmasters, the short
So do you see what they have done? After training people, they put them in a system that enables them to get jobs. So it's not just that we have trained you, we let you go. They put them in a system where they hook them up to jobs. And they are collecting a lot of government jobs too.
Yeah.
And there is certification. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. We also discovered that the place of entrepreneurship cannot be overemphasized. So beyond just getting skills, we discovered that some of these building materials can be produced locally. And we came up with one of the training models called Small-Scale Building Materials Production Workshop. So at that workshop, we trained them within the period of the training on how to make building materials like interlocking tiles, ceramic tiles. We also teach them how to make paint, adhesive, stone-coated roof tiles, all of this with locally sourced materials. You don't need any machine, no power, just locally sourced materials. And I can tell you with confidence, sir, in Jos, when we ran that training, some of the ladies are now doing very well, producing paint and doing painting by themselves. It's interesting to know that most of these trades that we thought were male-dominated trades like masonry, we find females coming into these trades and are doing exceptionally well. And, well, clients will always prefer a lady to do their job, especially painting, than a guy. So that's an added advantage. We also came up with the Construction Artisans Awards. It held in 2019. Just to boost the esteem of the artisans, we allowed them compete and selected the overall best. And then that event happened in Abuja, the old parade ground, where Fashola was there and awarded the overall winner the prize of 1 million naira. So it helped boost their interest in vocational trades. That's the much we're doing. That's the winner from the Artisans Awards, Yusuf Kada, from a slum in Maraba, Nasarawa State. And overnight, he's standing with the Minister of Housing. That's the kind of thing we want to instill in the artisans. And some of them came from Lagos, and we got third position from Lagos for plumbing, Abdul Rashid, here in Lagos. So it was a national event. We will have had this 2020 edition, but because of coronavirus, we would have it in March next year. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me allow them fire you 2 questions, then you can go. Anybody who wants to ask? Next time, you need qualified builders. Not they finish your plumbing, your kitchen is leaking, your toilet is leaking, and all that.
How do they contact you guys? Do you have a contact information? How people can contact you?
Yes, we do. Our website is www.system.org.
And some of you that are ever having the thought of traveling overseas, if you ever want to go overseas to live and you don't have any skill, don't think about it. I'll be very honest with you. If you want to go to Canada today, it doesn't matter what degree you have, and even in US or Australia, and you don't have a skill, don't think about traveling. Whether it's in fashion, whether it's in
because you go there, you'll be
anything.
frustrated. You need to see what is happening to Nigerians. Many people are abroad.
Yeah.
But the skill, just like braiding hair.
They make more money than people who are in
This
office.
evening, she'll be talking about, you can see, because next year we're going to be hosting a global fashion and beauty, whatever, here in Nigeria. And I think we're going to do Lagos and Abuja. This is what they do. You know, you can call the name of who and who. All these people you are watching on TV. Just braiding hair. She made her first $1 million on that. And they are looking for those skills abroad. So, instead of just, finding a way, you get there, your visa expires, you just start staying and all that, and mess up your life, it doesn't make sense. But you can learn one of these, because construction industry is also one of those areas. Anyway, you are not the one I should be telling this. Is if we are doing this in the main service before the other ones left, they are the one, because some of those people who needed the jobs were there. But we're also showing you this so that you know how to package whichever area of intervention that you're going into. Okay, somebody wanted to ask a question, and then we can
sir.
close. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. So I wanted to ask, so because what you just mentioned of artisans, calling the artisans on the app and then getting probably a plumber or probably an SC technician. So how do they know the problem specification? So if you say, because Nigerians, we tried to run such a project before, where we get artisans in a platform and then people can come and, order their, pre-order. So one of the things we noticed is that Nigerians will just come and say, my AC is not working. So, but there are so many problems that could go wrong with an AC. So how are you guys able to conquer that? Because that would determine the price and the cost you're giving, because there's mobilization fee, there's labor.
Okay, second question. Who else is asking? Because we need to move on to something else. Okay, no other question. Okay, do that, and then that will be the end,
Okay, so my question is about damage control. Now, so you refer artisans through your app. So if the artisans go to the particular place to work, and then probably they don't work well, it's going to tell bad on you. So what's the damage control that you have put in place for that?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Starting with your first question. On the app, What we do is that these artisans, we talked about mentorship. So we send them with professionals. So yes, maintenance work can be very tricky. Like I said, I'm a builder, so I understand these things. Maintenance work can be very tricky. You want to maintain a roof fascia. Before you know it, the whole roof has a problem. So we do what we call assessment, initial assessment. So the day we first go is to assess the problem, prepare an estimate, send it to the client, having examined the problem. So it's not as if you call the first day, and if it is something that would have to stretch, we solve it the same day. So that's one of the things we do. Then talking about damage control, that's where the NSQ certification comes in. I can assure you that anybody we send out to go and work must have gotten level 2 or level 3 certification. So he's a master of his, in that particular trade, and has mentored some other people. So that's one of the things we do, mentorship. Somebody mentioned mentorship earlier on. So a master plumber in level 2, we attach him with people in level 1 to mentor. So anybody who comes for that kind of job must have gotten to that level. So yeah, there's a lot of guarantee.
So you see how the system works. That when you finish training, you now go into apprenticeship. You are working, but you are under a professional. You are making money so that the other man takes the responsibility for the final outcome. From there, you now mature. Just the same way you train lawyers and doctors and some of these other. And then over time, the guy becomes, Thank you for that brilliant. So you can see the number of jobs that they have created. Thousands of jobs. Not just taking 3 people or 5 people and all that. I'm going to invite the last person for today, for this particular session. This is a young man who has floated an airline. You're going to hear some things now. You whatever. Please join me and welcome. Sometimes I call you Malami. Are you Malami or Balami? B, not M. Join me. He's a flight captain. He's actually a flight captain. Join me and welcome him, Engineer Balami. Give him a big God bless you as he comes. We didn't know that you would make it this morning with all the roads that are blocked. I was told that service held in the 2 toll gates. They're blocked everywhere. You're welcome, sir. Check your mic. Let's be sure it's working.
1, 2.
Okay. First of all, tell us where you are from. Because some people think that from that part of the country, you don't get people who grow to the peak of their profession like this. Tell us where you are from and the kind of family background.
Okay. Good afternoon, church. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Isaac David Balami. I'm from Borno State. And I'm a son of missionaries. My both parents have been pastors even while they were with the civil service, and after they retired, they are currently still missionaries. So at least the church in my village in Maiduguri is over 90 years old.
Wow.
Borno South.
Wow. Now, I'll fire about 4 questions. One is, you talked about, because the reason this is coming up, I wanted you to speak to the whole church. We've dismissed them. These are the ones who want to create jobs. You have to come back, because there are people who think they are down there, they can never get up. What you shared in Abuja shook everybody to their core. It shook all of us. Me, I cried till I got home. But tell us about, you talked about coming out, how you went to school, the different types of job you did to be able to pay your way through school.
Okay, so at the age of 11, when I finished my secondary school, going to 12 years old, my primary school rather, Well, my parents could not actually pay for the kind of school I wanted to go to. So I had to work in Maiduguri timber shade for 9 months at the age of 11, where I raised 1,000 plus to pay my school fees into JSS 1. And all through secondary school, I spent every holiday throughout either farming or evacuating sock-away feces. Manually, then we do it, not now that you just bring a truck to just suck it out and go and throw it at the lagoon. That one, you have to dig a 6 by 6 feet hole to use bucket to evacuate it manually. And that's how I was able to raise money during holidays. Sometimes we spend a month in the bush farming. When we go to the farm, we go with 2-3 drums of water, a bag of gari, kuli and some salt, and we spend 3-4 weeks there. We won't come back until we finish weeding the whole grass. And we come back with 2,000-3,000 naira at the end of the month, which is enough to pay our school fees back to school. Back then in Maiduguri.
You mean you stay in the farm for a whole month?
Of course. We sleep in the bush. We sleep on the tree sometimes when it's heavily raining, because there's always flood sometimes. But I could remember my father telling me, because my father used to be a farmer. I mean, the salary then as a teacher was not enough to look after all the children. We were 7 children and a lot of dependents. So he would always tell me that sickness can kill, but stress, as far as you are on your field, can only stretch you. It cannot stress you.
I wish I had you here talking to the whole church. Work does not kill. Did you guys hear that? And this is one of the philosophies we need to pass to the Nigerian young people. Work does not kill. Sickness can kill you. Clap.
So that helped me, you know, I could remember clearly. So that motivated me. Most of the young people working with me then were on drugs. I've never smoked even shisha in my life. I've never done any drugs. But that word encouraged me and gave me strength to compete with them even on the field. So when we bend down with the hoe, we don't rise up until we get to the end of the farm. So it's a serious job, you know, and people have to take drugs to compete because the tractor, you know, till the soil in a straight line. So everybody take a line of granite or maize or beans, and you don't stand up until you get to the end. If you stand up, you are very, very lazy. But God has been faithful, and we were able to pull through. And today the story is different.
How does a person who grew up like that, paying your fees, end up becoming a flight captain, flying aircrafts?
Okay, so you see, one thing in life is good to just pursue your passion in life. I never knew I would end up this way. I was only pursuing my passion. And one of my passion, which most people thought was my weakness, is that I can't withstand injustice. When I was at the University of Maiduguri, I tried to fight for people's rights. I was expelled as a student union. I came to Ahmadu Bello University.
You was the president of the student union fighting for the right of students. You said there was no water or something.
Yes, in Ahmadu Bello University's area, ABU's area, we were to write exams. They will switch off the generator for the library around 7 o'clock. We needed to study. There's no water to take our bath. We have to trek some kilometers to go and get water to bathe. So we shut down the school, and I was expelled again. But while I was expelled, I was on my way back to town, PZ, or you call it a flyover, and I saw Aviation College with the aircraft on top, and God told me, this is where you belong. So I just entered. I met somebody, I said, I want to school here. He said, who is your father? He said, because we are just about to close admission and we only admit 20 per year. And in the entire country, only 20%. Do you have millions to pay? I just told him yes. And I got the admission within a few weeks. I was among the 20 that made it. And I needed to raise millions of naira. My parents could not even raise 10% of what was required after selling all their assets in the village. That was how rich they were. But I took a step of faith, went to the aviation college, went to the management. I said, I'm a young boy. I'm somebody who works very hard. If they will allow me to pay my school fees instrumentally, that I want to be a self-sponsored. They said, but it's not possible. So I kept insisting, and after a month, they accepted. So when they accepted, I had to open where you make barbecue. I call it Balami Roasteries, where we make suya, fish suya, beef suya, chicken suya, and then we now make burger, but we are calling it McDowda. You know McDonald's now? It's when you just take the 10 naira bread, you slice it, put mayonnaise inside, make some barbecue, fish, and whatever, put it inside, wrap it. It's called McDowda. And that was able to raise me about 300,000 naira every month after paying 3 of my staffs. And I was paying my school fees, I was studying.
How do you have time to read if you are doing that?
In fact, I don't know, because usually in aviation college, like we always say, there's no parking space in the air. So our pass mark in the aviation college is 75 of 100. Unlike university, when you get 40, it's a pass. Let my people go. And or in the university, when you graduate with, or when you fail, you can spill over, you can have a carryover. In aviation, there's no carryover.
There's no carryover.
There's no spillover. After spending all those millions, because you kill yourself and kill everybody. Yeah. So the idea is either you know what you're doing or not. Out of all my classmates, I think only 12 of us actually made it. And that is the norm. Sometimes out of 20 people, only 10 will actually make it. And in my third year, I was now failing exams because it was getting tougher. We were getting to our graduation year. So I had to go back to God. And I said, God...
Because he has to go to school, finish school, come out. He was telling us in Abuja, it's the night when he should rest to read, to do assignment, that he has to be in the shop, selling, all this barbecue and all that, to make enough money to stay in school.
Yes, in fact, I close, aviation normally is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, Monday to Fridays. Then weekends, you also do some practicals on the aircraft and everything like that. So I will close by 4 p.m. from class. I had to buy Okada then, take my bike with my uniform straight to PZ, buy 40 kilos of beef, go to the Lebanese woman, pick some round bread and everything. And then by 6 p.m., I'm in Abu's area with my uniform. I will make suya, make barbecue, make burger till 12 midnight. And I did that for 3 years while studying. So in the 4th year, because I needed to focus.
And did you see, because we are talking about job creation, for some of you who don't know that there is job, you think it's a small job, but he was making 300,000 every month. Some of you in the bank, how much are you earning? As a student too. So barbecue, you can see, up to 300,000 every month to be able to pay and stay in school. Go ahead, sir.
So I told God, I said, I cannot, after losing 2 admissions, fail this course where there's no carryover. So something has to happen. So I had to go into a contract with God. And I prayed for about 7 days. I cried. And I told him, if he can have mercy on me, and I will graduate from aviation college, as soon as I get back from the US after my type course on any kind of aircraft, that half of my income will go back to the less privileged. I will give back to people that want to go to school. And
are you guys hearing that?
And within that period, I was a member of Charity and Faith Missions. One Professor Shire, I would do that, used to have a Charity and Faith church opposite Abu's area. So the pastor had earlier called me that Mommy was going to be made a bishop. And that we have bishops coming in from US, Canada, Kwara, Lagos, to come and ordain her. So that God has told him to tell me that I need to produce 7 chairs, that they cannot come and sit on those broken plastic chairs that are very, very bad. And I'm saying, look at me, I'm just struggling and everything like that. So I tell him, okay, Daddy,
you were still in school as
I was still in school.
And the church wanted him to buy all the chairs. It's executive chairs for the pastor's section.
Yes, exactly. exactly. So, actually, in my mind, I know I just said I can't do it. But I didn't tell the pastor. So I was just thinking. I was a bit nonchalant about it. So in the night, I had a dream. An old man came to me that his son has gotten admission to go to the US, and he brought a Prelude, a red Honda Prelude, that was worth 400K. He said, any amount. He said, even 70K, I should pay and take the car. So I rushed out of my room, went, and I loaned 70,000 naira. So when I came back and gave him the car, he took the car key, and he shook it. He said, so you can go and borrow for things of the world, but you cannot borrow and do my work? And I woke up from sleep. So that time I had this Motorola Razr phone then. It's a flip phone. I think I bought it then 75K. I went and sold it 35K. And I went and raised money from other people. And God helped me. I was able to pay. On the day of the program, the church lost hope. You know, they didn't expect that I would do it. And I also didn't tell them that I would do it. They brought in the 7 chairs. So the pastor said, please.
How much did it cost?
70,000 naira.
70,000.
Yes, for the 7 sets. Single, just like what doctor is sitting on. The pastor tried to bring me out. I didn't want it to come out because I'm a student. They will say, where did he even get money from? He's struggling to pay his school fees. He has been going around harassing us for scholarship. So I just kept quiet. And he said, let the church rise up and pray. And that was the day I saw the manifestation of God. Because when the church stood up and held their hands and started praying for the person who did that, I began to float in the church. The church turned into white like this, with big curtains, breeze blowing. And after the prayers, I fell down. And I went back to my room. And within 7 days, I got 3 international aviation scholarships.
3 scholarships.
3 scholarships. I was even confused. I didn't know which one to even pick. So I now picked the one that was offered to me by the Canadian Helicopter Company and Aero Contractors Airline. So I picked it. They did not just pay my school fees. They paid back all what I have spent.
All these past school fees you paid?
Yes.
They refunded you?
They now balanced the rest. Gave me a house in GRA Ikeja, 35 Odudua Crescent. Furnished it. Gave me a driver. They gave me breakfast, lunch, dinner. They said, until you graduate, this is your ID card. You are our staff. And they were paying me my allowances as a student in dollars. So that was when I started the Isaac Balami Foundation that today has been able to empower 612 children in school for the past 16 years. And to the glory of God, we have now changed the entire model to something more realistic, like what my brother who just spoke about the job creation for artisans and everything, to see how we can make more impact. We're trying to redefine it because we discovered that the money that we've spent, so now I don't just give 50%, I discovered that I only need 10% of my income, and I give 90% back to God's work, and I'm fine.
How is that possible?
In fact, initially it was tough for me and my wife, but one day when she was a bit worried, I called her. I said, yeah, I know that because she will hear news that because, you know, the wives of the aviators, they know how they meet. So this one will tell her that my husband just bought a land in Lekki to build. My husband just bought a land in GRA to build. And her husband is not buying any land. He's just busy doing ministry work or helping people. So God intervened in a miraculous way because it got to a point where every car that I cannot buy because I'm giving 90%, today I own. I drive a Range Rover, I have a G-Wagon, I have Mercedes-Benz, I have a BMW. People buy these cars and give to me for free. The house I live in here in Lekki, somebody bought the house, tens of millions. I've not paid rent in Lagos for the past 13 years now. The house I live in Abuja, worth tens of millions. I've not paid rent in Abuja for the past 10 years.
People buy houses and give you.
Give me. So I discovered that if you think you are smart, you are earning well, and you want to look after yourself, God will just be watching you. When you keep your life, you will lose it. But when you lose it, you will find it. So basically, what I just discovered is that you think you are smart by saving. It's good to save. You have children, you must plan for their school fees. You must plan for the feeding. Of course, you must plan for their health insurance and everything. But trust me, if God has, there's nobody on earth, including the Almajiri, the Yaro boy that is begging on the street, that doesn't have a calling. So if you can just identify that calling, that assignment, and focus on it, there will be a lot of distractions. It's not going to be easy. I've gone through hell. It's been tough. Most times, when I was the national president for aircraft engineers, by the way, I became the pilot and aircraft engineers national president when I was just 25 years old, going to 26 years old.
National president.
National president. I was TUC national spokesperson when I was 25, 26 years old. I became a director. I was just telling Mommy Cecilia Ibru, because she gave me an opportunity when she was the head of Oceanic Bank. She moved me from a grand junior aircraft engineer to a manager and to a board member in Aero Contractors Airline because of my impact. So she recognized my effort to build Aero Contractors then, and she elevated me to the board of Aero Contractors, where I sit in board meetings with the MD and other board of directors. And the whole idea, what I've just discovered is that if you are faithful in serving people, and how did Mrs. Ibru just saw me and say, come and sit on the board of Aero Contractors Airline? I was a junior staff when Aero lost an NMPC contract that was operating 6 helicopters and 2 jets for NMPC. And one of the contracts had been running by Aero because Aero is 62 years old this year, older than Nigeria itself. So one of the contracts had been running for over 30 years, and Aero lost the contract. And that was going to cost Aero 470 staff that will be rendered redundant. And I said, I took my money, my leave allowance, I traveled to Abuja, and within 3 weeks, I met with Desiani, met with other people in the Senate, told them why, if they take this contract away from Aero Contractors, any company that will get that contract will bring in expatriates to do the job. And Nigerians in this number will lose their jobs. So Desiani fell in love with my presentation. She reversed everything, and Aero got back the contract. And I didn't do it for anything because I was a staff. I was a beneficiary of the company that took me from Aviation College and made me who I am, so it's time to pay back. Even though I deserve 5% based on the company's policy, I didn't go for that 5%. I was after the result. And when the board saw that a young boy like this can fix this mess, when they created the Maintenance, Repair, and Overhaul of Aircraft Center, they made me the first manager. And then when there was need to expand the board, to have people that have ideas and have passion and drive, they took me to the board. So that gave me the managerial appointment alone, as a result of me serving faithfully, distinguished me and my classmates 24 years gap. And that moved me to a 6-digit salary instantly, instead of earning the 500K that I was earning at the entry point then. So what I'm just trying to say here is, one thing in this life is for you to be faithful. Most people don't know what it takes to be faithful. And I tell young people whenever I said, if you are a youth copper in a company that has banned employment of youth coppers, if they cannot change the policy and employ you, it means you didn't make any impact. And I believe that even if it means the MD or your manager using his own or her own personal money to keep you, you must get to that point where you don't just be there and nobody is noticing. Your absence should be felt. And that is one thing I have always done all through my life. You don't put me in a system, and whether I'm there or I'm not there, you don't feel the impact. I must find something to do, and I don't want to take the credit. My own is, who is my Oga? I serve. When I got that contract back, I never told the Ibru families. I did it as a staff. I only told my supervisor, not even my manager. But when the table turned around, I became his boss. And that is how God works.
You need to clap. Oh. Wow. Now, there is an aspect of the airline industry. And all my life, even until you talked, I didn't know that the Nigerian was doing that. I know that that part belongs to white people. Aircraft maintenance and all of this stuff. You decided to go into it. Talk about it.
Okay, so one of the reasons why at the age of 25, I insisted to be the president of all the pilots and all the aircraft engineers in Nigeria was, of course, I've been fighting for people all my life. I was head boy. I was assistant head boy in primary 5. I was head boy in primary 6. I was FCS president when I was in secondary school. So it's been consistent. Like I was in Man O, I was in Boys Brigade, I was a captain in Boys Brigade.
And student union president.
And also, yeah. So, but when I was in the aviation college, I discovered that a Filipino, with due respect, I'm not a racist, will sit in Nigeria, in Lagos, living in Sheraton, doing job that a secondary school WAEC holder can do if trained for just 1 month, earning $10,000 per month to change aircraft tire, for example. If you give me somebody who has WAEC, who can read and write, I can teach him in a month, certify him on how to change aircraft tire and brakes effectively, without any error, following the manufacturer's manual, the approved maintenance program. And I saw white people coming to do this job. And yet, Nigerians don't have any job. Then a Nigerian man who has a license, who is trained in Flight Safety International, like myself, in the US, Canada, who is trained, who even has a PhD in Cranfield, in UK, in Embry-Riddle, will not even get 1/4 of what they're paying that person who doesn't know what he's doing. So I said, no, this has to stop. When they are doing aircraft engine change, they send all the blacks away. Because they want you, after 100 years of getting your independence, you can't change an aircraft engine. So I saw slave camp. And I just couldn't stand injustice. I just couldn't. So I took loan of 3 million naira in Oceanic Bank to travel around all the airports, all the aviation agencies to seek support. Yeah, some of them told me that, well, I've been a captain for 40 years. Your father didn't even know your mother by then. How can you come and be my president? But some told me, well, you sound like my son. I will support you. So I never gave up, and that's how I became the pilot president. So we began to fight. Within my first 6 years, to the glory of God, we sent back to Europe, Canada, America, 480 expatriates.
480.
Yes. I got the Minister of Aviation with my team. We got the Minister of Aviation, the CG of Immigration, to come up with an act that takes care of local content and expatriate quota. I did that at my 6th, 7th year with my team. We now went ahead to see how we said, if you want to employ an expatriate, you must prove to us that there's no Nigerian that can do the job before we will allow you. And with my team, we were able to actually achieve that. Without any shouting. Just by demo. And how did we do that? First of all, I got Mommy Ibru in Aero Contractors then, because Aero was the highest paid then. It took us the first 3 years, and I ensured that licensed aircraft engineers from Nigeria, trained overseas, we did 70 aircraft engine change, and after 3 years, there was no error, no incident, no accident. So what we now did, we were now doing C-check, D-check on helicopters and smaller jets. So I took, after a major inspection on an aircraft, there's what you call the Certificate of Release to Service. That gives you the C of A, which is the Certificate of Airworthiness of the aircraft. I made sure that Nigerians signed all those 70. And after years of proven safety record, that even the last plane crash that Bristol had, because the first 2 plane crash, everybody died and the aircraft was destroyed in Bristol. But the last one was a Yoruba Nigerian female captain. She ditched on the Atlantic Ocean. She followed the international procedure as recommended by the aircraft manufacturer, and there was the aircraft was rescued, herself, the crew, and all passengers on board were actually rescued. Which means that Nigerians are better.
Wow.
Because we understand the terrain. We understand our environment. With due respect, and with due respect to those who died on the Dana plane crash, something kept telling me that if that captain was a Nigerian, he would have known where the bush are. He would have known that there's a pole. Because the aircraft was already, the landing gears were down, the captain could see the runway, but that high tension held the landing gear, and that was what caused all that death. So sometimes you have to believe in yourself as a nation. There's no Nigerian pilot who doesn't understand the terrain in this country because he was born and raised here. You bring in an expert who doesn't even understand. If there's an emergency, he doesn't even know where to even crash land. So the point is, this is part of the reason why I saw the need. And we began to work on it. So about 11 years ago, I began to nurse this ambition to start the first independent aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul center for the entire West and Central Africa, which doesn't exist anywhere. It was a tough one because anywhere I go to, the banks will say it doesn't make any sense to them. Nigerian Airways could not do it. Okada could not do it. Chachangi, IRS, Cabo could not do it. As big as ARIC, with about $3 billion invested in ARIC, they couldn't do it. Airpeace has over 30-something aircraft. They've not done it. Who are you to do it? What is your bank statement? I said, but I have a vision. So I kept on pushing. And when Dana aircraft crashed in 2012, I went to register 7-star global hangar immediately. And to the glory of God, today, we are not just licensed, we are not just the first independent licensed aircraft maintenance facility in the West and Central Africa. We are now the first with my partners in the US to even start doing aircraft upholstery, aircraft seats, and now we are moving into overhauling aircraft engines and aircraft landing gear by next year. And when the American FAA visited to check what we have on ground for the upholstery, to do aircraft seats and everything, and these are jobs that, these are departments that can create hundreds and thousands of jobs for Nigerians. And a typical example was in COVID, we just converted the upholstery section of the hangar into apparel to make face mask. Like the trouser I'm wearing is produced in the hangar where we do the aircraft maintenance.
They also make,
what you're wearing.
All these traditional dresses.
And with we bought 500 industrial sewing machines within 1 month during COVID, and we're producing over 100,000 face masks daily, running 2 shifts. That was being exported outside the country. But one thing that surprised me is, with 150 million naira we could invest in buying, just in Lagos market here, Eco market, about 500 industrial sewing machines. We bought it. With the one that have 7-thread, 5-thread, overlock, flat lock, straight sewing, blah, 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 and what have you like that. And, Daddy, within 1 month, we could get 500 tailors per shift.
Per shift.
So when you run morning and night shift, we're employing 1,000 tailors.
Wow.
The youngest tailor, because we pay them per one. If you make 1 face mask, we pay you per 1 production. So if you can make 200-300 a day, that is going to be multiplied by that amount. A 22-year-old boy who is the youngest is earning 200,000 naira a month, 220 a month.
200,000 a month.
And we feed them in the hangar. Masks. And we feed them.
And you feed them?
We feed them. So if 150 million naira can create over 1,000 jobs. This is just tailors, excluding the branding, packaging, logistic, store, printing, creative department, about 480 of them. So if 150 million naira can employ 1,480 young people, then I don't think there's any excuses for our leadership. There's no reason why our youth should be jobless. Because I discovered that Nigerian youths are even more hardworking than China youth. I've traveled around the world. I've worked in the US. I was trained in the US. The level of production and the level of finishing. The suit they made for me that I wore yesterday, most people thought I imported the suit. It's made in Ikeja. We don't believe in ourselves. And we must get to that point. This is the only country where somebody who embezzles money buys a private jet, because of course he can't even account for the money he has. He buys a private jet and he wants even the person who will serve him coffee on board should be a white girl. I don't know what is wrong with us. That is the level of decay in the system. And for me, we have seen it clearly that it is Nigerians that will fix Nigeria. Not by insulting a leader, not if you go to my Facebook page, go to my Instagram, whatever, you will never see me insulting a leader. One, by age, culturally, spiritually, is wrong. You know, part of my backbone is the scripture that says, honor thy father and thy mother, and it shall be well with you. If you call my father and my mother and you ask them today, I have never, ever argued with them. If they are wrong, I look for scriptural and a matured way to correct them. I do it until they come and say, we are sorry, we were wrong. And for me, it has been well with me because of that. So one thing is, as young people, we must also find a way to express ourselves in a more organized, matured manner. I was expelled twice, but by the time I got into the Aviation College, I was still the leader of the student in Aviation College Zaria. I was pilot president. I was TUC spokesperson. I did 48 negotiations for airlines. Sometimes I go to negotiate for some airlines. I'm offered $2 million, $500,000 in cash when there's no fuel in my car to drive back home, when my children are out of school. But when you know who you are and you know what you want, today I hit my chest. I said, I am one, if not the only labor leader in the country that did audited account for 8 years back to back without any query. You must be accountable. You must be transparent. You must be open. When I left as pilot and aircraft engineers president, there was a move to audit because the achievement was so much they felt I stole money. They discovered that I didn't even claim my travel allowance and my recharge card allowance for 5 years. And when they called me, I said, I give it to you people as a gift. I want to prove to you that you can serve without stealing. Today, we are not just licensed to do aircraft maintenance. Just 7 days ago, I don't know if doctor sent it to you, we got our air transport license to float an airline. And when we started, in all honesty, I had nothing. But by the time the airline transport was out, now packed on ground, we have 5 12-seater helicopters for oil and gas operations. Already in the US, we have 10 aircraft ready to come in, processing how they will come in. Which means that it's not about if truly it is God that gave you that vision. If you remain focused and you believe in God, He will always make the provision. So no matter how big a vision is, and I cannot pay what the airlines are paying. I can't. A pilot and aircraft engineers earn like $10,000 a month. For every business, for the first 1 year, you know you can't even break even yet. Yeah. The cost of leasing an aircraft or buying an aircraft is not cheap. But just yesterday, I was in a meeting. 10 pilots came to me and said, we are current and type-rated on that your aircraft. Because of how you served us as our president, we don't want to hear about salary. Tell us when to resume work. Forget about salary. Because I was worried. I'm like, God, now we have gotten the license. How will I start? Because it doesn't make any sense. I cannot pay. Because most of those people that float these airlines, you know their stories. They have this money. Eric has access from American Exim Bank with guarantees billions of dollars. The other airlines, I don't want to mention names. You know how rich they are. They have access to money. We don't have access to that. Everything we have done was from hand to mouth. But because the vision is very, very clear, God is sending people. Somebody called me, Belami, I will support you with the money to lease one aircraft. Please send me the invoice. I will support you. And that is what it takes to be faithful to God. And I'm saying, God, this airline is yours. If we make $1 billion profit every month, you know that I only own 100 million naira. 900 million naira is for your work, is to empower your people. So if you like, kill it. If you like, let it flourish. And that is how I run things with God. You know? That is just how I run it, because he knows. And you see, one thing is God sees your heart. And I believe that David in the Bible, despite his atrocities, one thing God knows is God knows his heart. His heart is for God. And because myself and my team, our heart, the aim is not to buy Bentley, Rolls Royce, go to club and intimidate boys and girls. The aim is to make real impact. So if that is the aim and God has seen the heart, then it is left for him to send people that can support us to make it happen. It is possible. Ethiopian Airlines consecutively for 4 or 5 years, they have made profit more than all African airlines combined. Are they not human beings? Singaporean Airlines, one of the world's most profitable airlines, their CEO on a daily basis, the day he doesn't give $1 million profit to the board daily, net, after all deductions daily, he must give a net of $1 million. He said, I will resign. Which means that if people are doing this thing around the world, why can't Nigerians do it? Why can't I, because I'm the founder of a business, why can't I respect corporate culture, corporate governance? Myself, let me be on salary. Don't dip hands. Allow this business to grow. Don't divert the funds. Allow it to grow, and that is the issue. So I sat down with 3 airline owners, advising them on what to do. I said, I am the president of pilot and aircraft engineers. Every day, every week, every month, I sit with aviation minister, PAMSEC of aviation, DGs of aviation agencies, chief pilot, chief engineers, pilot, you know, and I sit down with them every day, and from what I have gathered, you need to do this to have a sustainable airline. They will tell me 3 airlines, top CEOs told me, if you are this intelligent, why don't you go and float your own? And that is the issue with the Nigerian youth. They see you come as a young person, nobody believes that you have. I don't think I have all the ideas. Despite my experience in aviation, I believe that there are people coming after me, people ahead of me, people at my level that have better ideas than me. And that is the way to grow, not just in aviation, but in every sector. You must be open. You must be flexible to learn. You must allow people to come on board and share their own ideas.
I'm going to bring him back at the proper time. But there's something you did, you know, in expanding the fashion side of the business, making of face masks and all of that. You know, what did he do?
So I never knew that Dr. Kalu has been very, very engaged and burdened by the need for job creation. So when I met with him, we had meetings for hours. Then towards the end of the meeting, I said, well, by the way, we have 500 industrial sewing machines during this COVID, and we are trying to see how we can diversify, because we pray and we hope that COVID should end, so we can't be doing face masks forever. We need to go into apparel and begin to export our African prints and everything. So he said, are you serious? I said, yes. So I showed him, because BBC came to interview us, so I played the BBC 5-minute interview, and he said, I've been looking for this. He just took his phone, made a phone call, and we never knew that there's already somebody in Ghana who imported over 2,000 industrial sewing machines, and they said they can give us 1,000. So as we speak now, they are doing the inventory. They are shipping it from Ghana to Nigeria, meaning we are going to have 1,500 industrial sewing machines by the end of this year, meaning we can employ 3,000 tailors doing 2 shifts by the end of this year, excluding other support staffs. But the good thing is, being a Canadian and also somebody who is the head of the 6th region of African Union, he has gone around the world. He has seen the need and the urge for African attire. You know, a lot of people, even the white people, yesterday alone, about 2-3 white people called me, please, my wife and I need to have this African print. We want to wear it for a function next month. Can you please DHL it to us? So there's high demand. So with their network of about 500 million African descendants living outside Africa, they are creating a market, which means that we can scale it up even from 1,500 to even 10,000 machines. And we have already gotten the land on this Lekki Ekpe Expressway to expand and to create a city where this can be done. And work is already in progress as we speak.
One man is funding the education of so many underprivileged children. One man, what he's doing with the aircraft industry. One man in the garment industry creating jobs. How did you do that? What did you do when you guys stopped? How did you just do that? This aspect of creating...
You know, in life, it's all about believing in your vision. And sometimes we always want to see that we have 100% to start a project. The river, the Jordan River, will not part into two unless you're ready to walk inside it.
Did you hear that? When Joshua and the army of Israel crossed the river Jordan, the water refused to divide until they walked into it. So sometimes we are waiting till we have 100% of the money before we start. You've seen a story of somebody who started from the scratch all the way to the top.
And it was easy to get support because when I made a call and talked to our partners, not only, as he's saying, because we've been working, putting things in place, not only just the machines, there are already contracts ready for exports to US and Canada based on the apparel. Contract, at least 1 year contract is, I know for sure, is there. It's based on the fact that you are ready to do what God has assigned you to do. God will bring vision helpers and vision partners. Be faithful, be honest, the rest will be history.
What will be your last word? We have to go because, you know, it's been a long day.
So you see, my last word is nobody, and I repeat, nobody will come and fix this country for us. Nobody. From outside, negative. I have seen it all. I've gone through the partnership for 60 years between aero contractors, between Caverton helicopters, between Bristol helicopters, and while I was in TUC, I was negotiating as a spokesperson for 30 sectors. Hotel, oil and gas, banking. I've gone around and I've been able to, I was privileged to see documents of partnership, you know, joint venture between foreign firms and Nigerian local companies. It is always to our disadvantage. They don't have the interests of Africa or Nigeria at heart. They are always here for what they can take back to their continent. And I give you this, and I give this back to you. We have to have a deliberate, strategic effort across different sectors to ensure that we rescue the nation. We should stop dwelling in the book of lamentation. I always say it with one of my friends here, David Ibrahim. We said, Nigeria is not suffering from witchcraft. We are suffering from crycraft. We should stop crying. Stop complaining. Former good luck, former Obasanjo, Buhari is not your problem. The problem is you. The problem is me. So let us start something small. For me, today, if we can do 600 plus children in school, if every graduate today that has a job, as I was coming, I was crying today, all through. You stop in every traffic light, you see 7, 8, 6 years old girl. By the girl, I'm a girl child fighter, you know? I don't like it. You see young boys and girls begging on the street till night. Where do they sleep? In the next 10 years, where will they be? That is what led to Boko Haram. So I want to challenge us, while we are placing demands on government to do the needful, on your own, can you take a child? next your street, behind your church, behind the mosque next to your street, behind your office. Do something. You know, we can make an impact. We can begin to take those children, because those children, if we don't begin to sort them out, they will chase us tomorrow with stones. It's happening already. And I'm telling you, whether the current leadership or the past leadership have done well or not, the point is they can't give what they don't have. Trust me, Obasanjo did his best, Goodluck did his best, late Yar'Adua did his best, Buhari is doing his best. That is all they can offer. What is your best? What can you offer to your country? God bless you.
Hey! I'm looking forward to National Youth Summit this year. This, you can imagine what will happen to the young people when they finish listening to you. Of course, you are my greatest discovery of 2020. Whatever happened, thank God for the pandemic and whatever. And of course, you too, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Charlie, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to be bringing this to a close. Pastor Shola came and told me that the night session cannot hold. That they even blocked our front here, blocked the other. It says some people held even service there. You know, I don't know. You think we can weather it? Because me, I don't care about me. Oh. You see. So this is where we're going to be concluding it. I'm wishing that we can make changes. I don't know, you know. How many of you want us to hold a night session? You want it to hold here? What's the difference between here and there? Pastor Shola, please come and rescue us. We're using Orchid Hotel. He brought somebody. Tell me, whatever it is, I will do it. I'm your humble servant. What is the right thing to do? How they will move. Oh, there are still people, even outside here. The junction. You park your car far and walk down. Yesterday too, I trekked to get to the. Okay. Okay, they say we can try Orchid Hotel this evening. This side that they blocked, you know, even there was whatever around us here now, you know, that it's very hard for you to get here. So, but let's try Orchid, you know, but around 5, you will have people everywhere and be giving us information. If it's so bad that we'll just send SMS and cancel the event. But let's try. Let's try. You know, let's try. Let's see if we can give you the finishing touch. Yes. Okay, first of all, you know, everything we are worried about you. You know, me, I don't mind, I can trek, but put your hands on your chest. Did you hear the kind of covenant? There were 2 covenants that's behind the man. One was when he was in school. First of all, he found his passion. So even with all the business and all that, he's still fighting. He's still fighting for. That passion is about the oppressed, injustice, and all of that. You know, that thing will take you to government one day. Let's not talk about it here. That passion needs power behind it. God is providing economic power, but political power will join it very soon. Because these are the kind of leaders we need. Just bow down your head. I don't know what, because this event that have just happened this weekend is somebody's Kairos moment. There's a reason God did that. We wanted to cancel. He told us head to Lagos. Go ahead. While the march and the protest is going on, I want you here to come and raise an army that will start solving the problem. Because at the end of the protest, what next? Everybody put your hands on your chest. Just talk to him. You don't need to have that kind of dream where somebody will appear to you in the night and tell you something. You don't need to, because we have appeared to you physically and brought the same message. What will it be? Your own covenant with God. What will it be? Which particular group of people are you living for? One of the things I learned from your story, you see, when people are sincere and they talk, God hears. When people are sincere, they made up their mind and they are sincere, God listens. I have my own story, so I have proven that I know that it's true. When people are sincere and they tell God something, He listens. What is it? Your own deal with Him. What is it? It's between two of you. When you live here, start small. Start. Even if it's one person. Even if you don't have a job and you take up a vision to create job, it will give you a job. It's true. You sit down now that I want to create job for 12 young people, it will give you your own job. Because job creation is a job. And they will start taking care of you. Money is the reward for solving problems. Father, we thank you. Thank you for what you have done this week. Even if we never get to have another session this weekend or this evening, I'm grateful because it has been an awesome transformative experience. Lord, the greatest thing now is to unleash an army of men and women who will take responsibilities for one sphere or the other. We've seen people who are coming up for vocational training. We've seen people who are taking up responsibility for the entertainment industry. We've seen people for agriculture. We've seen people in different areas. Envision these young men to begin to be part of the solution. Let nobody live here and remain the way they were before they came for this weekend event. We thank you. Thank you for the many of us that are already doing things. Thank you for the hundreds of others that are going to join that company. Bless them. Help them. Give them victory over the different challenges that come along with being an agent of change. Help them to rise above them and become an inspiration to other people. We give you praise and glory in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. And I'm told that there's food around this environment. People selling food everywhere. And, so there is food around. You can eat in this environment before going. So the event this evening is Ochi there? Or you are closing? Close. Anyway, you have done well, Pastor Shola. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Africa is rising now. We have come to Africa's season, and this decade is going to be Nigeria's decade. We are going to get out of all this mess that has been troubling us and move into Africa is rising now. We have come to Africa's season, and this decade is going to be Nigeria's decade. We are going to get out of all this mess that has been troubling us and move into our golden season. But it's your generation that is going to lead this country into it. You are not going to be ignorant of the scriptures, neither will you be illiterate. Opportunity to go to school, you don't take it like just other people just walk into class, walk out. No. You know,